Danny Walters lost his life after having a seizure at Dana. The extreme amount of hours that they were forced to work, sometimes 12 hours, days on end, I believe that the overwork and lack of rest attributed to his death. When he first started at the company, he was a temp, and he worked 60 days straight, and many of those were mandated overtimes. The type of overtime, it wasn't choice, it was mandated often. He had left another place of employment, Walmart. He had worked there 25 years and he was not getting anywhere close to 40 hours a week. So here you have not enough hours, or you have way too many hours. My husband was an epileptic, so eventually, in order to feel like he wasn't going to lose his job, we had to reach out to medical experts to get an FMLA. And they reduced the hours to 10 hours. 10 hours day after day after day. It's just unrealistic for any worker. Those of you that don't know much about epilepsy, they're not coherent for quite a while after they've had a seizure. If I had gotten a call at 12 something, I would have been alert enough to say, you know what? Let's get in the car, let's go home, let's go to the hospital. And then I would have been there to verbally speak for him. But I never did receive a call like that night. The only way I found out that he had a seizure at work was I kept repeatedly calling my husband's cell phone. Eventually, somebody's face showed up on my husband's phone, and I could tell by their clothing that they were an EMS worker. And this is probably well up into the morning by now. And you might wonder, well, why didn't you drive home? I had been up for several hours. I was afraid I was going to fall asleep. I thought he was in good hands by this point. And I didn't think they would release him without giving him another dose of his medication, but they did. And I came home from Louisville that morning and walked into our home, and I'm yelling his name. I even stopped to get him a sandwich because I knew he'd be hungry. And he didn't answer, but I thought he's just sound asleep. And oddly enough, I opened our bedroom door and I didn't see him there. So I called the phone again and I heard it ringing in the bedroom. And I went back in there and all of a sudden my eyes just turned, and I don't know how I didn't see him the first time. And he was wedged between the mattress of our bed and a dresser. And you could see where his airway had been blocked off by the small space, because he had a second seizure. And there was a lot of things that could have prevented that. I picked up his phone and he had gotten a message that he was on the mandated list to work that next night. And I got on the phone and I called Dana and I said, my husband won't be into work tonight, he's dead. He was a good man and I wish he was still here with us. And the world has lost an incredible man. And Dana, you've lost an incredible employee. He talked a lot about Dana. When he would communicate with me, his children, that's all he talked about. And then I started thinking, this is all he does. He was either working or he was sleeping, trying to recuperate to go back to work the next night. And this is not acceptable in the world, the society that we have today. You should not sacrifice your family. He couldn't even attend one soccer game. It was very rare, or he'd have to take off and be pointed, if he wanted to be with his family at all. He used to love taking care of the yard in our small little town. He took pride in keeping the yard pretty and the flowers, and he just couldn't do it. He physically couldn't do it. Well, my husband was a member of the UAW. I would say, well, what about the union? You're paying union dues. What does the union do for you? And it was just common knowledge that most of the workers there felt like the union was not doing anything to make things better for the workers. There has to be a change for these employees that are working so hard and getting so little. Epileptic or not, 8-hour day is a long day, especially in a situation where you're on your feet, you're moving at a fast pace. We're asking things of these people that other people don't do, yet they make huge salaries from the people doing this work. I'm speaking out to encourage the other employees to be more vocal, to not be afraid. I shared with someone today that if my husband were still living and we were having this conversation about this contract, I'm ashamed of myself, but I would have probably be saying to him, oh, honey, you don't want to say too much. You don't want to lose your job. What if they point you for speaking up? You know, we've got to have our health insurance. How are we going to pay for our children's college? But now that he's gone, none of that matters to me. I'm speaking on his behalf. I'm letting my voice be his voice. I loved my husband very much. He loved the workers at the plant where he worked in Dry Ridge. He cared about his coworkers. And any of those people that see this video, thank you for taking him home from work when I couldn't be there. Stand up for yourselves. Stand up for the hard work that you do and demand that you get time off that is guaranteed and that you are given reasonable hours where you can have a family life, where you can mow your own yard, where you can go to see your daughter or your son in some sort of activity, to where your partner and you can have a conversation about something except work, so that they can have another life outside of that plant. You're worth something to society, and you should not feel like you're not. I often felt like my husband felt like he wasn't that important, but workers are important.